Guys, ammunition for this video has been provided by Browne Works Inc., manufacturer of fine custom handgun grips. If you guys are looking for very unique, very customized handgun grips for your favorite handgun, contact Mark at Browne Works Inc., link in the description below, and create something beautiful for your favorite handgun. And don't forget to tell them Wyoming Gun Project sent you.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at a super cool revolver. This is the Ruger GP100 chambered in 44 special. That's right, 44 special. So Ruger released this at the time of filming, I want to say around 5-6 years ago, maybe. I think that's what it was. And it didn't last very long in the market. It came out and I think it lasted 2-3 years before they discontinued that, probably due to poor sales because, you know, if it's not semi-automatic and not 9mm, a lot of people don't buy it. But that's not the point of these. These things, I think, are enthusiasts guns, and I think they are super cool. So let's just kind of go over the specs and features and the looks of this gun, and we'll take it out, we'll get a weight, we'll get a trigger pull, and then we will take it on the range for the live fire portion. So what is this? Obviously it's a 3-inch Ruger GP100 chambered in 44 special. You do only get 5 rounds of 44 special, but trust me when I say this, that's plenty. I'm digging the unfluted cylinder. Guys, I am a huge fan of revolvers with unfluted cylinders. I think they just look boss, man. They are the coolest. Full underlug. Again, I think that's very cool. I like how Ruger cut out this piece right here in the lug. This thing is just awesome, man. Fiber optic green, front sight fully adjustable rear sight, standard Ruger push button cylinder release. Now, if you know Smith & Wessons, you push forward, Colts, you pull back, Rugers, you push down and in to release the cylinder. This is not like a Smith or a Colt where you could spin this ejector rod and it'll spin the cylinder. It doesn't do that. Standard push to eject the cartridges. It locks up in, these are a little bit different again than Colts and Taurus and Smith. They all kind of got their own way of doing things, and they will even change them within the same company and stuff. So this one's got two. If you don't know, revolvers lock up in 2 places. A lot of Smiths will do it out front here, or they will do it in here. Same thing with Colt. Colt does them in here sometimes and out there, and they change depending on generations and all that other kind of stuff. This one has the little lock right there. So it locks up in that notch right there, and it locks up back here. They all pretty much lock up right back there. That's one point. And then they'll lock up front somewhere. And this one happens to have a tab that does that in there. Standard Ruger cast frame. Guys, Ruger revolvers are not the prettiest. They're not the most refined. They're not the the highest finished ones. They're not the creme de la creme. They're not Colt snake guns, but they don't try to be. They are very well built. I will argue they are overbuilt. These are cast, mostly because they're made of cast frames. And as you can see, you can see the casting lines right there. Can you see the casting texture? See if I can get, yeah, I think, let me see if I can. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. You see how it's textured right there where they don't finish it. You can see the grinding marks on here. They're, they don't, again, these aren't the best finished revolvers, and because they are cast frames, they're big and bulky and heavy. I mean, look at that chunky, really thick top strap. But they've been doing this for so long, they have perfected it, man. If you want like super high-end finishing, you go with, I mean, I'm not talking about like this super Korth $5,000 revolvers. If you want obtainable ones, like Colts and Smith Performance Centers and all that other kind of shop, custom shop revolvers, you're going to pay a lot more than you do for Ruger. Very cool lug on the top. I dig the lines for the cutouts on the top of the barrel. Man, this thing is just, to me, this thing is just dripping with freaking, it's fire, man. I think this thing is freaking cool. Doing some research on this gun, I did buy this used. That's the only place you're going to get these nowadays is on the secondary market. And I got it off Gunbroker. Didn't come with a box. Didn't come with. This is exactly how it came, just like this. Doing some research, I believe they came with these really big Ruger rubber grips, and whoever owned this before replaced it with this rubber and wood one, which I greatly appreciate because these look so much better. But they still offer, so they offer the aesthetic of beautiful wood, but then you get the shock absorption of the rubber grips, which is very cool. I also dig this particular one. Is got like a kind of a snakeskin pattern with the diamond in the middle, and it's got it on the front too. Not so much the diamond, but it's got texture on the front and back. Those are very cool. I don't know what gun, I don't know if that came off like maybe a 357 GP100 or something, and somebody threw it on there. But I am glad that they came with these grips. I dig the way it looks. Guys, if you think that 44 Special is something to sneeze at, you better ask somebody because, you know, it's pretty powerful. It's not, of course, it's not Magnum powerful and, you know, 44 Magnum and all this kind of stuff. But this thing has just got a vibe, man. This thing has got a sick revolver vibe. If you like revolvers, this is one of the coolest, in my opinion. But let's get a weight and a trigger pull, and then let's get this bad boy out on the range, man, and just see how it shoots. I'm expecting this to be kind of chunky because it is a weighty boy. 36.13 ounces, and that's of course without ammunition. So let's set this to the side and let's get a trigger pull. Let me turn on my trigger pull gauge. All right. This is of course a double single action. If I didn't mention, it does have the transfer bar safety in there. All right, let's see here. Let's try the double action. 9.96. 9.60 and 10.62. So guys, that can vary depending on where I'm able to hit on the trigger, and sometimes, especially with the curved triggers, they will slide. So you just average the 3. It's probably, you know, mid to high 9, so 9.75, probably somewhere around there. Now let's try single action. 3.16. 1.96. See, I don't think it's 1 pound, but that's 3.36. That's probably, let's give it one more to kind of get rid of that 9, that 1 point. Yeah, 2.88. So it's probably right around 3¼ pounds. It is a very nice trigger. There is no take up on it, no movement on the hammer. It's like bang, and it just releases. Tiny bit of take up on the double action, and it's coming, it's very smooth. It doesn't, there, you know, you can stage it. If you get really proficient with revolvers on some of the brands, you can go double action and then boom, see how it's staged? And then it's almost like you fire in a single action when you let it go, man. So yeah, there it is. You know what? Let's just get this bad boy out on the range and see how it shoots. Live fire portion of this review. We have our Ruger GP100 in 44 Special. Hell yeah. We got it loaded with 240 grain 44 Special. These are Elmer Keiths, baby. This is the Elmer Keith load. We have some these Cowboy Action cartridges. These are 240 grain lead semi-wad cutter. Says they're going about 845 feet per second. We're going to check that out. That's pretty much close to, just slightly above 45 ACP. But so we got some of those, and we have some 200 grain. These are round nose flat point Cowboy Action loads. Now, I'm sure with this Ruger being overbuilt, the way Ruger overbuilds them, you could get some really hot 44 Special to work in this gun. But if you think a 240 grain lead round nose 44 special is to be poo-pooed, laughed at, you're crazy. Because this is a hoss. This will put your ass down. It's a big piece of lead, all right? Now, again, thanks to Mark at Browne Works for providing the ammunition custom grip maker. Link in the description below. Check out his fine custom grips for all kinds of firearms. But we got our steel at about 20 yards. These are the first shots out of this gun for me. I have not fired it yet, and so I'm not really sure where it's hitting or anything, but again, we got a C-zone steel. We're just going to fire it up, and we're just going to see how it shoots, man. Okay, folks, we got our Ruger GP100 in 44 special. We have our five rounds of 44 special. These are 240 grain Elmer Keiths. Elmer Keith shaped bullet, I'll say that. We're going to go back 7 yards. We got our 3-inch shoot and see. I'm going to go back 7 yards, and we're just going to see how it shoots. Now, these aren't target sights with this fiber optic front sight. It's cool. And I'm going to fire all these shots single action so that try to take most of the human error out of it and check for the mechanical accuracy of this gun. So let's do that. Okay, folks, so there you have it. It looks like it's shooting a little bit low and right, but I can adjust these sights. Again, I did not adjust these sights. This is how it came right out of the box. So I don't know if it's not, sighted in for that bullet. You know what? Let me go get some 200 grain, and I'll be right back. Okay, folks, so as you can see, we put up a separate shoot and see. Now we have the 200 grain round nose flat point, and we'll just see how those shoot from 7 yards. Again, in case you haven't seen my videos before, I do 7 yards because that's the average distance for a defensive encounter, and I use handguns for defensive purposes, so we're going to see what kind of group we can get at 7 yards. Let's go right back here. Put my ears on. Okay, I think it likes the 200 better. These last 2 shots, those were freaking me, man. I had that 3-shot group going, tearing out the center of the target. And as you can see, the wind was blowing it. And that was me. I goofed those 2 shots. But it looks like these hit closer to center. And that's still not a bad group at all for defensive purposes. That's 7 yards. So now let's go and get the final thoughts. Before we go and get the final thoughts, I wanted to fire 5 rounds. We got the 240 grain Aylmer Keith shape 44 special in there. I wanted to fire 5 rounds as fast as I can at that target. As you can see, we replaced the 3-inch shoot and see. So I'm going to try to fire 5 rounds at that target as fast as I can. See how many hits we could put. I'm going to try to keep them in the A zone, and I'm going to try to hit that 3-inch shoot and see. Here we go. All right. Not bad. It looks like I clipped the shoot and see, but they're all in the A zone. So I don't know if you can see it. It's getting out. My camera's overheating. It's getting hot out here. So 1, 2, 3, clip the A's, 4, 5, all in the A zone. Not bad for defensive purposes. Pulling the trigger as fast as I can to get accurate hits. Now, let's go and get the final thoughts. Okay, folks, final thoughts on the Ruger GP100 chambered in 44 special. I think it's fantastic, man. Ruger is known for overbuilding their revolvers, and this is an example of that. I did just notice right now as I'm talking to you, it looks like the rear sight pin is walking out a little bit. See that right there? We'll have to tap that. Can I push? Oh, I just pushed it right in. So we'll have to, maybe we can stake the edge of that or something, but as you can see, I pushed it right back in and it's fine. Yeah, this is an awesome revolver. And I love 44 special. I think 44 special is more than enough to handle any 2-legged threat. If you guys think that those cowboy action loads are anything to sneeze at, you're crazy, man. I am fully convinced that those 240 grain Aylmer Keith shaped bullets will definitely do the job. They are very dirty, so in extended range sessions, be advised that you will have to really clean the crap out of your gun. Obviously, they don't make this anymore. I did get it off Gunbroker, and I'm very happy to add this to the collection. This is the first Ruger revolver I've had in a long time? Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had Ruger revolvers. They're just not as refined as Smith & Wesson and Colts, but that doesn't make them bad. I'm not crapping on them. I think they are very utilitarian. I think they're very well built. Again, I said they're overbuilt. I think they're fantastic, man. These are excellent defensive guns. Heck, you could backpack with this sucker. I don't know about maybe get some of the hotter 44 special loads for a bear or something, but this thing is great, dude. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.